What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I can't tell you how many times I sit here and I'm about to turn the camera on and record. I freeze up for a sec. I start overthinking how I'm gonna start. What I'm gonna say is like, you have to let spirit flow. It's just funny. Life is funny. I want to talk about something. The idea of heaven and hell. Heaven and hell is a state of mind, not a place. We've been taught by society, especially if you grew up in church like I did, heaven and hell is a place. You get to go to heaven if you're, a good little girl, good little boy, or you go to hell if you've been bad, And it's just funny because it is so childish. But we have literally been taught there's just some planet or place floating in the sky, I guess. And, if you've been good enough and you kept the 10 Commandments, man, I ain't even gonna be able to get this out. I didn't even anticipate that when I started talking about this, I was gonna start laughing because it's stupid. It is fucking stupid. Alright, let me get real for a minute, Heaven and hell is a state of mind. You know why they taught you that it's a place in the sky? So you wouldn't find it within. Because if you've been a Christian before, you went to church, you might remember the Bible where Jesus said the kingdom of God is within. It does not come with observation. He says people's going to say it's here and over there. It's not something you can see with your physical eyes. It's within. It's a state of mind, a feeling. Now here's the thing, like when you tap into that heavenly essence inside of yourself, the world's going to look like heaven. Everything around you is... the outer world's going to mirror that internal state of mind. If you're a negative person, your world's going to look negative. It's going to be negative. You're going to have negative circumstances all around you. But if you're positive, you're going to reflect that. You know why people's health is in the gutter? People's cars breaking down, shit going wrong left and right, because inside shit's going wrong. We are the creators. You are a divine, infinite being. A soul that can manifest, create what you want. You have created and manifested this physical world. You have created a world of duality. Meaning in this reality, you can have heaven or hell, or there can be an integration. That's a whole nother thing, but your thoughts determine whether you experience heaven or hell. That's what Jesus, and whether Jesus was a historical person or not, it does not matter. If he was even real, he was not the Messiah, not the Savior of the world that got crucified on a cross. He would have been here to tell you that God, the power, is you. That's why he said, do you not know that you are gods? But they took the words and distorted it and twisted it so you wouldn't know the truth, to keep you bound by the chains of religion, fear, so you could be controlled by a government, by a country that hates you, that's evil. If you don't understand the power within yourself, you're going to be a slave. You're going to conform. You're going to be a sheep. But if you find out what's inside and you find out who you really are, like Jesus was trying to tell us, you can't be controlled anymore. You don't need church. You're not going to be scared of government and law. You'll understand you can create your reality. You'll understand that your thoughts create your reality. That your mind creates heaven and hell. You can take your power back. You can get off the antidepressants. You can get off the pain medication. You stop eating that junk. You stop putting things in your body that harm you, because you'll understand, you'll come to a knowing that what you put in is what comes out. It's like a computer, your cell phone. Whatever you type in is what comes out. What you put in to internet search bar, that's what comes up on the screen. If you putting shit in your body, that's what's gonna come out. Your government knows that. They fed you a lie and told you that to be saved, you gotta look outside of yourself. There's nothing you can do on your own. You gotta give it to a man named Jesus or a God in the sky. And if you want to experience heaven, you're just going to have to hang on until Jesus comes back one day, or you finally die and enter the pearly gates of heaven, you know. And it's to keep you waiting on something that's never coming, so you'll stay down and you won't realize that, oh, I have to be the change. I am the difference in my life. I'm the power that creates. Because think about it. Think about what you think. What you think is what you do, right? Like you say, I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm gonna buy X, Y, and Z. It starts as a thought, and then it becomes an action, don't it? You're gonna end up doing it. That's what manifests. It's not cut and dry as, yeah, I just gotta go to the store. It had to first be a thought. So if I sit here and I'm living in fear and negativity, and I'm worried about how the bill's gonna get paid, is my car gonna break down, this and that, it's likely that that's what I'm gonna see before me. Toad the Wet Sprocket, the band, the 90s band, had a song called Whatever I Fear. And in the song, they say, whatever I fear the most is what I see before me. Because you're a magnet, so you're going to draw that to you. You are the creator. You are a God. And what you think is, so whatever you fear, that's what's going to come to you. Stop fearing and start thinking positive. Like, even if you don't even know how, you don't have to know how, because the intelligence behind this experience operates on a plane that the human mind can't understand. You have to align with yourself, with your higher self, with your divinity, and say, I don't have to know how. It's just going to happen. The bills are going to get paid. My car is going to get fixed, or I'm going to have the groceries that I need. And your bank account may say zero. And I promise you, somehow, one way or another, you're going to get what you need. If we can go back to the Bible, and it talks about, Jesus said, take no thought for what you're going to wear, eat, your clothes. You're going to be provided for. That's just the way of nature. Does a bird worry about how they're going to eat? Is the animals out in nature going to worry about, man, I hope I get a meal today? No. They just do. They're just being, because they're connected with nature. They don't sit there and wonder what's going to happen, but you've been programmed to believe, you've been put in a system that tells you that you need to be worried, that if you don't go to work, oh, well, you're not going to have money to get food. If you go against the grain, and like all this stuff they've taught you to fear. And if that's what you believe, that's what you're going to create. That's going to be the limitations. When I started believing that I was limited to a 9 to 5 and that was my source of surviving, things changed. And I've not had to work like I used to, and work 50, 60 hours a week and struggling. Things have happened that I can't even explain to you, that some people would call a miracle. But it's just who we are. But if you keep yourself limited and think, well, If you make money your God, it's going to be your God. You make that job your God, it's going to be your God. You make Christianity your God, it's going to be your God. You get what I'm saying? You create it through your mind. We create all these illusions because of what we've been taught to believe. But the good news is once you find the truth, you can break through that. You can change your mind and your world just becomes so magical and things will happen and you can't even explain it. You're like, how was that even possible? How could I walk out the door on that job and quit? Where did that money come from? How did that money pop up my bank account? Like, it just, I'm telling you, it's real. And your government knows that. They know it's real. They don't want you knowing that. That's what Jesus was trying to help you understand. They don't want you to know what Jesus was trying to tell you, but you read in between the lines, go back to the Bible and look, you see, it's obvious. You don't have to be a slave. You don't have to conform. You don't have to be afraid. You can make moves. I like the Joker from the Batman. I love the Joker. Joker's actually the good guy, but that's a whole nother thing. But the Joker, he says, do I look like a guy that has a plan? I just do things. That is the mentality that you can have. I have just straight walked up out of jobs, no notice, no nothing. And everything worked out. I've gotten behind on bills. I thought I was going to lose stuff, and it always worked out. Everything is not black and white and dull and dense unless you make it that way. You don't have to be afraid. Heaven and hell is a state of mind. Create heaven today. Change your thoughts. Change the way you see things. Be more positive and see what happens. And you'll see that reflected in the world. You'll see how it creates. That's all the proof you need right there. There's no proof of anything. You got to see it. So I hope this helps somebody. Hope y'all have a great day. Catch you in the next one.